Welcome all on behalf of Saraswat International Academy. Myself Satish Makwana, subject English, Standard 8th English Medium. Poem 1, The Ant and the Cricket, Part 2. So students, in the last session, we read about the poem, The Ant and the Cricket. Right. And in that poem, we saw how the cricket, it enjoyed the whole summer and spring season by singing songs, right? And it did not care about the future, about the upcoming winter season, and it did not collect any food, or it did not make any shelter for itself, right? And on the other hand, the ant, they were busy collecting food and making a better shelter for themselves. Why? Because of winter season. And when the winter season arrives and the cricket goes to his goes to check his cupboard, it finds nothing. It finds the cupboard is empty, right? And there is not a single piece of bread or a cake or piece left in its cupboard. And plus, the ground was covered with snow and there was not a single leaf or flower on the tree. And it started thinking that what will happen if it does not get any food or shelter. It will die, right? So what it thinks, he thinks about taking help, borrowing food from the ants, right? So he approaches towards the ant and asks them to provide it some food and shelter. And like if they don't help him, it would die because of hunger and starvation and because of cold, right? So let's see further in the poem what happens. Does the ant helps the cricket or not? We'll see in the part 3 and 4. So, says the ant to the cricket, I am your servant and friend, but we ants never borrow, we ants never lend. But tell me, dear cricket, did you lay nothing by when the weather says warm, when the weather was warm? Quoth the cricket, not I. My heart was so light that I sang day and night, for all nature looked gay. For all nature looked gay means the nature was pleasant, the nature was warm, it was full of joy. And quoted the cricket, not I. Quoted means the cricket, it replied. So now what happens? When the ant asks cricket that what it actually did the whole summer and spring season, what it did, and why didn't he collected anything for himself. So the conversation between the ant and the cricket is given in this stanza. So when the cricket went to the ant to borrow some food and shelter, what did ants replied? Now the ant answers that it considers itself to be his friend as well as servant. His means of the cricket, so it considers as a friend as well as servant. However, the ants never borrow anything from other nor lend anything. So that is the first thing it told to the cricket, that it never borrows or lend from anyone else. Then saying this, the ant asks cricket, why did it not gather anything when the weather was warm during summer and spring season? Obviously they had a doubt, what did what it did the whole summer and spring season when it was warm, when there was plenty of food and water. So Hearing to the end, the cricket replies that its heart was so light that it was quite happy and it did not care about the future. The cricket further says that it kept singing day and night. The whole season it kept singing day and night. It did not care about the future, that what will happen if the summer, if the winter comes, when there would be no food left on the trees. He thought that the beauty of spring and summer, as well as abundance of food and shelter, will always remain. It never cared about the future. So it was its assumption that the food and water would remain forever. The summer season and the summer and spring season would never end. So it was its assumption which was in his mind. In that assumption, he forgot, he did not care about the future at all. Now, moving ahead. You sang, sir, you say, go then, says the end, and dance the winter away. Thus ending, he hesitantly lifted the wicket, and out of the door turned the poor little cricket. Folks call this a fable, I'll warrant it true. Some crickets have 4 legs and some have 2. So now, listening to the cricket, the end tells him that he was singing and enjoying during the spring and summer, right? So now he should do the same and the winter will go away. So the way you pass the summer and spring season by singing and enjoying the season, the same way you can do at this point of time in winter as well, singing and dancing, and the winter season will go away. Now, saying this, the ant hesitantly lifted the wicket. Hesitantly lifted the wicket means quickly ended the conversation and pushed the poor cricket out of the door. So they did not help the cricket. And in the last 2 lines, the poet says that the people call the story of ant and cricket a fable, a short story, an untrue story. But what he thinks is it's a quite true, because there are many crickets with 4 legs as well as 2 legs, okay, which they do not care about the future. Now here the poet is trying to compare the 2-leg insects with the human beings. We human beings do not think about the future, right? So we do not take a proper decision, we do not work hard. So at the time of the result, if it's bad, we regret it. Why? We wish that at that point of time if we had worked hard, our result would have been good. So we do not think about the future. Okay. So here the poet is comparing the 2-leg insect with the human beings. Okay. So I hope everyone has understood this poem very well. And now at the end of the session, I'll be giving you the answer keys for the questions which are given in behind the poem. Okay, and I would be also giving you extra word meanings which you need to write down along with the glossary which is there in the textbook. Okay, and plus in the next session, I would be giving you a composition, an essay, which you need to write down in your writing skills book, which you have maintained, which you will be maintaining separately. Okay, so along with the word meanings and the glossary along with the textbook, and plus question answers and the essay you need to write down. Okay, thank you so much.